Now at 9, NewsLink Indiana continues their coverage of the gubernatorial debate. Find out who we had an exclusive interview with now.
Local kids play basketball and kickball with police. Learn about the fun and importance of this event.
A man sued McDonald's over a recent E. coli outbreak. Find out what this means for the restaurants in the area.
And next up, an update in the infamous Menendez brothers. Learn what district attorneys are considering about their sentencing.
Tonight we are tracking the homecoming weekend forecast. NewsLink Indiana starts now.
Local news about local people, live from Ball State Unified Media. You're watching NewsLink Indiana.
Good evening and thank you for being with us. I'm Brooke Fallrad.
And I'm Kamara Munn.
A debate between Indiana's 3 gubernatorial candidates happened tonight in Indianapolis.
NewsLink Indiana's Sophie Schick is in the studio to give us the highlights.
Thanks, Brooke and Kamara. So tonight was a 2024 Indiana gubernatorial debate. Now, gubernatorial is a big word. What exactly does that mean? Essentially, these are the 3 candidates running for Indiana governor this year. We have Democrat Jennifer McCormick, Libertarian Donald Rainwater, and Republican Mike Braun. This was broadcast live from WFYI in Indianapolis and was presented by the Indiana Debate Commission. It was moderated by Laura Merrifield Wilson, who is a professor of political science at the University of Indianapolis. Let's get in a little bit to the debate format. So each opponent had 60 seconds to answer their given question. They all answered individually, and they had 30 seconds to rebut an opponent if they so pleased. They also had 15 seconds to rebut if their name was used by someone else in their answer. So the big ticket item tonight was property tax. Property tax is a huge issue for Hoosiers this year, and it was hit on a lot during the debate. A big topic was also cannabis and abortion. All election coverage leading up to the big day can be followed right here on NewsLink Indiana, and we have all of the details on the ballstatedaily.com. In the newsroom, Sophie Schick, NewsLink Indiana. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Sophie. NewsLink Indiana's news director, Abby Urban, had a sit-down interview with Republican Lieutenant Gubernatorial candidate Micah Beckwith.
This is our final part of our 3-part coverage of Indiana's Lieutenant Gubernatorial candidates.
So first of all, I just wanted to thank you for coming on with me today. So if you could kind of explain who you are and what your career with political journey has been with.
And then about 2016, I just started jumping in, and I felt like I had something to offer, and I wanted to serve, and ran for delegate in the state party, and that's kind of where I first jumped in. And
do you have any policies that point towards contributing to farmer safety?
I understand what it means to have a thriving agricultural industry for the state. And so with my background, with what I bring, I will be an ardent defender of farmers.
Regarding education, what would you say your guys' policies differ most?
It's their job to come alongside of parents and help, but really when you start saying who really gets to decide what these students are taught and what their moral purview is going to be in the world, and what is it goes back to right and wrong and virtue, right? You've got to go to the parents. You've got to say, okay, parents, what do you want?
So what are your guys' policy plans regarding gun control and how you might balance Second Amendment rights and public safety?
The only way you can defeat evil and protect yourself is to go to war with evil. And sometimes that's the unfortunate thing about life. There's evil people, and good people have to stand up and say enough's enough. And so and that's just the way it is. And so we've got to make sure good people have the tools to defend themselves against evil.
Obviously, when we continue to talk about safety and tools and things like that, where do you stand on the ongoing debate about women's reproductive rights in Indiana?
I have been a champion of healthcare freedom for many years. So I'm all about people being able to make their own healthcare decisions. But when you want to murder a child, that is not your body. You don't get to decide life and death for a child. So I'm fighting for everybody's healthcare freedom, and that includes the child in the womb.
Well, thank you so much for meeting with me. I really appreciate it.
Abby.
Of course.
Keep up with NewsLink Indiana for more election coverage leading up to the big day. Now we're going to have our first look at weather with Aaliyah.
Yeah, we're going to take a look at some of those current temperatures outside. Right now in Muncie, 48 degrees, 56 degrees in Indianapolis, 52 degrees in Lafayette, and 49 degrees up in South Bend. So a little chilly for this evening. And over the next 12 hours, the temperatures are going to decrease slightly with a low of 46 degrees and then increase as we move into tomorrow morning. So here is what we are tracking today. We are tracking rain possible for tomorrow, the homecoming football forecast, and some abundant sunshine for the weekend.
Thank you, Aaliyah. It looks like it's going to be a great weekend to play sports. And speaking of, a large group of Muncie children had a run-in with local law enforcement this Tuesday, but instead of in the streets, they handle things on the basketball court. NewsLink Indiana's Eli Gresham has a story.
On a beautiful autumn evening this Tuesday, members of the Muncie PD, the Delaware County Sheriff's Department, and the Muncie Fire Department all came together to play kickball and basketball with the Muncie community, thanks to an event hosted by the Southside Muncie Neighborhood Association. Courtney Marsh, president of the Southside Muncie Neighborhood Association, talks about the purpose of this event.
And it's just a way to encourage kids to come out and meet these individuals in a different way than what some of them might typically be introduced to them to. It's just a good way to come out and have a good time and have some fun.
Sergeant Amy Kessler, a member of the Delaware County Sheriff's Department, says that the Sheriff's Department looks forward to this event each year, citing its importance to not only the community, but also to the members of local law enforcement.
These community events that are put on by our wonderful neighborhood associations allow us to come out, kind of let our guards down. A lot of our officers won't be armed. We're in plain clothes. We're going to play basketball. We're going to interact with the kids on a different level. And I think that's really important in today's society for them to see us as people and us to be on their level. And it's a beautiful thing.
The Neighborhood Association hopes that this event and others like it can be used to help forge relationships between the community and those that serve it. In Muncie, Eli Gresham, NewsLink, Indiana.
This event is held annually, and the Southside Muncie Neighborhood Association hopes that this event can continue to build connections for years to come.
The Homecoming Food Truck Festival was on Monday. Food trucks lined the Green by Brown Amphitheater feeding students. But how exactly do they operate? NewsLink Indiana's Dylan Chestnut was able to get an inside look at one.
Food truck operations can be chaotic, but the owners of Neighborhood Pizza Food Truck have it figured out.
Day-to-day operations is pretty much prep, and get ready until the show begins, you know. Every event is different, so plan for the most. Never get overwhelmed. Just take your time, breathe, and have fun.
Josh and Shannon Jones picked up this food truck during COVID, where they planned to serve pizzas.
Somebody came up to us and said, hey, I saw a truck, and it was for sale in Indianapolis, and we went to go look at it. It was actually during COVID. We didn't know if it was going to be that great of an idea to start.
But it would be a great idea. They transformed it into something unique, something of their own, with employees that understood the risks.
Mainly our family is our employees, so it's pretty much family-owned business.
Keeping the business in the family is an important aspect of their business, but this food truck is only a part of their lives.
We work both full-time. This truck fits in when it does, when we have the time for it.
Neighborhood Pizza Food Truck will be back at Ball State for Friendsgiving on November 20th, where they plan to serve around 660 personal pizzas. In Muncie, Dylan Chestnut, NewsLink, Indiana.
Cardinal Friendsgiving will be from 4 to 9 p.m. on November 20th at Ball State's University Green.
Coming up, the Menendez brother case could be reevaluated. Find out what this could mean for the brothers.
And the Golden Arches are under fire for an E. coli outbreak. Learn what this means for the restaurants in the area.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
You know it's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Eva Marie smoked 12,000 packs of cigarettes over 15 years. She quit And now there's a new lung cancer screening that could save her life. You stopped smoking. Now start screening. No matter how much you smoked, early detection could save you. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
Man, it's lonely. Like, going through life lonely.
There is the therapeutic aspect of music, just expressing how you feel. I'm going to talk to Howie about his feelings, make it into a song.
Welcome back. After nearly 3 decades, the Menendez brothers could soon be set free. Lyle and Eric Menendez were sent to jail in 1996 for killing their parents. Last year, lawyers who represented the brothers filed a petition to reconsider the conviction and sentences due to new evidence. Today, the Los Angeles District Attorney announced his decision to recommend that the judge re-sentence the brothers. Now, the matter will go in front of a Los Angeles Superior Court judge who will decide if there will be a formal resentencing. A court hearing has not been announced. The first lawsuit has been filed against McDonald's over an E. coli outbreak linked to at least 1 death and dozens more being sick.
Reporter Michael Yoshida has the latest on the growing legal trouble.
A Colorado man is suing McDonald's for an E. coli outbreak linked to the Golden Arches famous Quarter Pounders.
The hottest, juiciest Quarter Pounder yet.
According to the lawsuit, the man bought and ate food from his local McDonald's in early October. 2 days later, he got sick and ended up in the emergency room, and later was diagnosed with E. coli. The man's lawsuit accuses McDonald's of product liability, negligence, and breach of implied warranties.
Consumers go to restaurants not expecting to get poisoned.
Attorney Bill Marler is representing 2 patients who fell ill in Nebraska. So far, the E. coli outbreak has led to at least 49 illnesses in at least 10 different states, including 1 death. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration says beef patties or slivered onions on Quarter Pounder sandwiches are the likely source of the contamination.
If it is found that the onion supplier supplied them contaminated onions, so they can say, yes, it's my fault, I served you the hamburger, but the onion supplier needs to pay for it.
Sorry, we don't have the Quarter Pounders at the moment.
McDonald's has not responded to a request for comment about the lawsuit, but it has taken Quarter Pounders off the menu in about 1/5 of its stores. The fast food icon has also stopped using the onions and Quarter Pound beef patties in several states as the investigation continues.
I hope these steps demonstrate McDonald's commitment to food safety.
In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida reporting.
The attorney for the
Find out more about the forecast for this weekend's homecoming events after this break.
As a dad, every day is a challenge.
To make sure that the time that I have, I spend with them.
It doesn't matter how tired you are, you have to try and to teach them. When they learn something new and you can just see in their faces, it's such an incredible moment. It's those moments that are my favorite.
When it comes to making plans, you are the best. What about those barbecues you plan in detail for your family? Or your daughter's first costume party? It was out of this world. The same way you plan each detail for those moments, start planning to protect you and your loved ones from a natural disaster. Sign up for local weather and emergency alerts. Prepare an emergency kit and make a family communications plan. Protecting your family is the best plan you can make.
When tornadoes touched down in parts of our viewing area, NewsLink Indiana kept you informed days in advance.
You do need to be seeking shelter.
Marginal risk of severe weather.
And days after.
The roof has been ripped completely off of this house,
giving you a first-hand look at the communities affected.
When your neighbors lose their house and you don't, how lucky you are.
The first to alert you of severe weather before it happens. NewsLink Indiana Weather.
Can't believe you're doing this alone. I've done it before. I remember you threw your back out. How you holding up? Hand me that board. Nothing wrong with getting help. I'm good. I did it when Felicia left. I'll figure it out. I know you will, but you don't have to do it alone, that's all I'm saying. If I promise to look into it, will you drop it and help me build this fence? Now you need my help. It can be a real pain sometimes, you know that?
Mm-hmm. If you or a veteran you know needs support, don't wait. Reach out. Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Welcome back. Let's take a look at those current temperatures right now. In Muncie, we have 48 degrees. Indianapolis, 56 degrees. 48 in Terre Haute and 61 degrees down in Evansville. These are kind of chilly temperatures, but it will cool off just slightly more as we move throughout the night. A low of 45 degrees, partly cloudy night, and winds coming from the southeast at 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow morning is a different story, though. If you have an 8 a.m. class and you forget your umbrella, it's going to be a bad day for you. Raining at 8 a.m., 50 degrees, warming up to 62 degrees by noon, and then 67 degrees by 5 p.m. A mostly cloudy day overall and some scattered showers throughout the afternoon. We do have some varying temperatures over the next 5 days. You can see tomorrow is a high of 68, and then it cools off, and then by next Tuesday, the high is 78 degrees. So almost reaching 80 towards the end of November is unusual for this time of year. The average high for the next 5 days is 67 degrees, so that is pretty normal for this time of year. Although we are expecting some rain tomorrow, we are still currently in a drought. You can see Muncie and most of our surrounding region is in that dry to moderate drought. And with this drought comes a burn ban. So we are not allowed to do outdoor burning, so no burning your leaves, no burning your grass or your trash or anything. And this is all due to the humidity, winds, and soil conditions. However, cooking fires, such as a grill, are still allowed, which is great for this weekend that we have coming up with the homecoming tailgate. Let's take a deeper dive into that rain that we are expecting tomorrow morning. This is tomorrow at 7 a.m. You can see the rain is starting to come in. It's going to be a pretty cloudy morning overall, and the rain passes and it'll start to dissipate around noon, and then it'll leave some clouds in its tracks for most of the afternoon tomorrow. So with this rain, we do have bed races tomorrow, so hopefully that rain will hold off, but rain or shine, we're still going to go support our school and show that school spirit for homecoming week. 62 degrees for the bed races and winds coming from the southwest at 10 miles per hour. We do have another very special forecast for this weekend. Our homecoming football game is Saturday. Kickoff is at 3:30 p.m. versus Northern Illinois. It's going to be a beautiful day for that. So get your girls out, get your Ball State attire on. It's going to be 60 degrees and mostly sunny for the day. So a great forecast for that. The next 7 days, like I said, the temperatures are pretty varying for this time of year. We have some rain tomorrow, the homecoming game Saturday, the lows reaching the freezing point on Saturday night, but then warming back up as we move into next week. And you can see some slight rain chances on Thursday next week. But the forecast looks pretty great for our homecoming weekend.
I know, I'm really excited for the game, but also for the tailgate because we only have one more after this weekend. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty excited for the tailgate. I'm a food girl. I love some good food, especially some good grilled food at that. How do you guys feel about the tailgate?
I'm personally really excited, but then I also know that the burn ban's going on, so all the bonfire season in the fall. But I'm so glad that we're able to have grilled food at tailgate.
Yeah, same. And my parents are coming, so they're going to grill for me. I'm super excited.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. I know I'm going to be with my friends.
Yes,
do you guys have plans?
Yeah, I'm just hanging out with my family. I haven't seen them in quite a long time, so I'm excited.
I'll be participating in the tailgate and the game, and I'll be hanging out with my friends over the weekend to celebrate homecoming as well.
Yeah,
do you have any plans?
I'm going to be with my friends as well, but I'm really excited for the homecoming tailgate. Thank you guys. Today we're going to be looking at what's going on in sports with Josiah.
It's something about having that piece of paper. Some people think that's worth more than my skills.
I've run this place for 20 years, but I still need to prove that I'm more than what you see on paper.
You just gotta be so good they can't ignore you.
It's the way my mind works. I have a very mechanical brain.
Analytics and empathy. That's how I've gained clients.
I am more.
I'm more than who I am on paper.
When I was growing up, my mom was extremely tidy. We were trained to put things back where we got them from. One day, when I walked into my mom's house, I felt like I walked to someone else's house. There was stuff everywhere. And just growing up the way I grew up and to see this transition was very alarming.
When Sean talked to me, it was a wake-up call, and that's when I went to the doctor.
¿Qué color? Perfecto, amigo.
Gracias. Thank you.
What's wrong, mijo?
Donating to a pet's medical care is one of the many ways you can help families in your community. Pets and people belong together. Learn more at petsandpeopletogether.org.
At night, NewsLink Indiana brings you the news before you go to bed.
But Friday mornings, you're waking up with Cardinal Weather, bringing you up to speed on the day's top stories.
And giving you up-to-the-minute conditions from the Ball State Weather Center.
And of course, lots of fun.
I gave mine personality. Look, it's got eyebrows.
Ooh.
My lucky glove didn't even work.
But I also am excited for those fall temperatures.
Start your Friday mornings with Cardinal Weather, live on the Cardinal Weather Facebook page.
Welcome back to NewsLink Indiana. I'm Josiah Bean with sports. After making history with the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani's 50th home run ball has a new record under its belt. After the Wednesday auction, the 50th home run ball in Shohei Ohtani's 50-50 season has been sold for almost $4.4 million. The highest amount of baseball has been bought for, according to the auction house Golden. And while making history by being the first player to ever join the 50-50 club, Shohei Ohtani looks to add even more to this historic season as his Dodgers take on the Yankees in the World Series. This will be the 12th time the two historic franchises will face each other in the World Series, with the Yankees up 8-3 in the head-to-head matchups. And with this World Series, it will be either Yankee star Aaron Judge's or Dodgers phenom Shohei Ohtani's first World Series victory. Game 1 will start tomorrow at 8 p.m. at Dodger Stadium. To bat things over to the hardwood, the Muncie Burris Owls began their state title defense at sectionals. NewsLink Indiana's Jake Dickman traveled to Selma to learn more.
For any team, being the defending state champion comes with the added pressure of a target on their back. And in the case of the Muncie Burris Owls, that target was there long before the playoffs began, according to head coach Jim Craig.
We went through that all year. And, you know, we have a different team. I mean, we lost two really good passers, really good defensive kids, really good leaders. We're just kind of struggling at times to kind of calm the seas a little bit.
That added pressure for the Owls only increased when they wrapped up their season in a straight set 3-0 loss.
You know, anytime you have something like that, when you come back in to play the next game, I mean, there's still that doubt in your head of, you know, what are we doing? How good are we? What can we do?
But Craig, with his 48 years of experience, knows that his players are better than that.
The kids know what to do. It's just trying to get them to continually think, number one, they can do it, and number two, put it to use.
After struggling early in their title defense at sectionals, the Owls would overcome the bumps to claim the sectional title, and more importantly, keep the repeat hopes alive. And Coach Craig wants these experiences to help his team grow.
When they get in that position, obviously you're glad to see that, okay, we've got the ship sailing in the right direction again, and then once we did, we're able to get some momentum.
The Owls will continue to defend their title this Saturday against Western Boone. In Selma, Jake Dickman, NewsLink, Indiana.
To set it to the gridiron, Ball State football hosts the Northern Illinois Huskies in this homecoming matchup. Ball State comes out to Schumann after a close 24-14 loss to the SEC opponent Vanderbilt Commodores and an overall 2-5 record. The Huskies are currently 4-3 and looking to bounce back from a 13-6 loss to the Toledo Rockets. The homecoming battle for the Bronze Stock will start at 3:30 in Schumann. Well, the Cardinals are back in Muncie after 2 away games, a homecoming of sorts. Are you guys excited for the game?
I know I am. I'm really hoping that we can get a win this weekend. How are you feeling about us getting a win?
I'm feeling good. NIU had that great win at the beginning of the year, but otherwise, they've been looking pretty normal, and Ball State's football team is great.
Right.
Caden Somoza is third in the MAC in passing yards, and he's had a great season so far. So I think the Cardinals can pull something out on Saturday.
What about you?
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be a pretty good game. I mean, it sounds like Northern Illinois is coming from a loss, and we're also coming from a loss. So it sounds like we're both going to be competing for a really good game. You know, I'm really excited to see how it's going to turn out. I'm really excited to dress up in my Ball State merch, of course. Yeah. How are you guys going to dress for the game? Are you guys going to the game at all?
I'm going to the game. I know it's a Western theme, but I think that, like you said, they're really going to leave it all on the field, and it's going to be a great competition. So thank you, Josiah. Next up, we're going to take a look at a terrifying Lego building competition, find out what spooky things students built with the bricks.
And we'll have one last look at weather.
Attacks against Asian Americans and Pacific Islanders are on the rise.
My simple solution to the problem was remove people from the scene and help them feel safer. In terms of the hate crimes, I think there is so much more work to be done. We really need to come together and tackle this issue as a community.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable. The sad reality is, fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back. My name is Evan Schatz, and this is your campus coverage. The Design LLC had just had their annual Lego building competition. The Lego Tower of Terror was held in Northwest Hall on campus. 2 teams of 2 had 1 hour to plan and build a Halloween-themed Lego structure. The builds were judged by 4 upperclassmen in the CAP program, with judging being based off of judging in presentations in the CAP program. Those include storytelling, meaning, and total composition. While building their creation, students were able to enjoy cupcakes and other treats that were offered, and the winning team was rewarded a Circut Joy paper cutting machine. Design academic peer mentor Piper Waithman reveals how this fun event and others like it are able to help benefit other design students.
The main focus when we create these events is around fostering community and getting people involved with peers within their major, and just giving them an outlet to get to engage with some of those topics.
Tied into housing all around campus, geared toward a specific community. The next Design LLC specific event will be a field trip to observe different architecture in Columbus, Indiana. You know, I really like the Halloween little structures that they were building, even though it's still a little bit warm for this time of year.
Yeah, I mean, we're a week out from Halloween, so I'm really wondering what the weather's going to look like. Leah, can you tell us more?
Yeah, let's take one last look at the next 7 days. Like I said, tomorrow morning, 70% chance of rain. In the morning, it should clear up in the early afternoon and leave clouds for the rest of the day. Saturday, 61 degrees for our Ball State homecoming game against Northern Illinois. The temperatures will then decrease just slightly and then increase back up as we move into next week. You can see on Tuesday and Wednesday, the highs are reaching almost 80 degrees, which is very warm for this time of year. Tuesday is going to be pretty windy, and then as we move to later next week, 50% chance of rain on Thursday, possibly. The lows, 31 degrees on Saturday, so a possibility of frost Saturday night, so be prepared. Sunday morning when you wake up, you might have to scrape off your windshield, which is very weird that we're having 80 degrees freezing this weekend and almost 80 degrees next week. Back to you at the desk.
Thank you so much, Leah. That's all tonight for NewsLink Indiana. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night or Monday night at 9, streaming live on the Indiana Facebook page.
And for news anytime, anywhere, just go to ballstatedaily.com. Have a great night and stay safe.